Okay, this is exactly what I was talking about with these lug nuts. The lug nuts that come, now these are 2014 Town & Country minivan. They have these types of lug nuts here. They drive me crazy because over the years I've broken many of these. Actually, no, the tops come up, they're kind of a cover and it just spins off. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about here with this one. Now I took off 4 of the lug nuts already and I was all happy getting ready to take off my 5th one, and this is what I experienced. If anybody has seen that or done that, it's extremely discouraging. So one of the options is to go in there with a chisel and chip off the covering and what have you. That's very labor intensive. So instead, this is the setup that you want. This right here is a hole saw. This is a 1-inch hole saw. 1-inch hole saw bit, okay? So it just slips into your drill. This is a Milwaukee brand, okay? Make sure you use eye protection when you use this because it spits out shards of that, of the metal fragments come on out. So what you're basically gonna do, now this is the size for this particular lug nut. It's a 3/4 inch. So I have a 1-inch hole saw on there. And all you do is just go on the outside of the saw, go inside it with this, make sure it's on forward. And you'll know when it's out because it'll stick inside the saw. Matter of fact, see that little ring right there? That means that it cut through. So it's just a matter of just popping that out. Hold on, give me a quick second. We'll go ahead and do that. I'll just take the lug nut that I had, or the socket that I had before, and it should wiggle out. If it doesn't, just go in with the impact gun, swing it around a little bit, and it should come out. But generally what it does, it sticks inside the socket, that socket that I just cutting it with. It sticks inside there, and then you should be able to get it out. Okay, so you go in there. I went in there with my, after I cut it, went in there with my socket and pulled it out. Now what you do is you get a smaller size socket so you can take out the, because the remaining lug nut is smaller in diameter. So you have to get a smaller size socket in order to extract that now. So let me go ahead and do that. Okay, so we got it out, which is right here. This is how it looks when it's out. You see, it cut off the initial ring that I showed you earlier, and this is the rest of it. I just went in with the same size impact socket, and I was able to get it out. Now, in order to get out this, now it's got a smaller size socket, so it goes from 3/4 to 11/16. So you go ahead and put that in there, and you should be able to, if this thing isn't cross-threaded, which sometimes the reason why it does it is because you got these knuckleheads with these 1200 foot-pounds torque air impact guns, and what they do is they put them on with 1200 pounds. These are usually 125 pounds of torque, and you're putting it with 1200 pounds, you're going to seize those lug nuts in there. So if you got these air gun happy people at the tire shops, that's what you experience, unfortunately. So let's go and try to get this one off here. Did not sure what the situation is with it, but slip that in there. Now this might have been one of those situations where you had the guy put this on and he didn't. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to let the car down and I'm going to use my my breaker bar to see if I can break this. Sometimes that's all it takes. So let me put the car down real quick. Stick with me. So I've got my breaker bar here. I'm going to put this inside here. And voila. There you go. So it's just a matter of, as I said, someone putting it on too tight. Going back to what I said earlier, one of these air gun happy people with the 1,200 pounds of torque, 2,000 pounds of torque, putting these lug nuts on. So if you ever go to the shop, make sure you watch these guys, because I don't think they have any idea what these things are supposed to be torqued to, but it's 125 foot-pounds of torque. Now this side, as I said, for your vehicle, check your manual to see what the torque specs are on these wheels. To tell you the truth, because I have this Earthquake's 900 feet of torque, I just put it on the second one here, which gives me approximately, doesn't give me exact, but gives me approximately. Then after I do that, I go around to all the wheels with a breaker bar and just make sure nothing's loose. Because sometimes you put them on with these guns and it'll just do the exact opposite. You think it's tight, but it's not. Then you find that out as you're rolling down the road and your wheels come loose. So that's it for that, and that's as far as taking off a nut that has the outside cover, which goes bad. Thank you. One word of caution when you're taking off, when you're shaving things off, you see I shaved off a little bit of the rim, not much. As opposed, you see that one's kind of dark. That was a little bit light. That means I went past the lug nut. It shaved off a little bit of the rim. So just kind of be careful about that. This is not going to hurt it. Everything will be fine. But once that ring comes out, the initial ring that I showed you earlier, that means that it's detached. So you just got to work it out until you get that cap off. But if you keep on going after that, you could damage the rim, so just kind of be careful about that. I finished with the brake job already, but I wanted to go back to what I told you earlier as far as replacing these lug nuts. These are original ones that come with the 2014 Town and Country, probably with other similar type vehicles as well. But this thing breaks off. I had one break off on the other side, and I did do a video as far as, you know, how to get it out and things like that. So these are the new ones here. I'm putting them on now. They're just one solid piece, as you can see. So there'll be no more of that spinning around garbage. Okay. Now I got these online. I'll put the information for these lug nuts in the video where I actually replaced the one that's spinning. So look for it there. I can actually show you here. But it comes in a box like this. You see, I already got 10 out. I already ordered 2 or 3 of these sets, and I've got several of these types of vehicles. So these are spare right here. But this is the one right. This is the measurement if you want to take a screenshot of it. And that's specifically for a Town and Country or a similar type vehicle. Okay. Just want to let you know. Now, another thing I wanted to point out to you before I actually do that is once you've put your tires back on, these are for the novice, the people who, who are pretty much new at this, get yourself a breaker bar like this one to give you some leverage. Okay, and you're going to go around after you've tightened them up and just put them in and just check to see if they're snug. I mean, I've had it to where I've run down the road and a couple of these are really loose. Now I'm just going to do these couple, and then so you get the idea. You see how that moved? Okay, so you want to kind of snug those down, make sure. okay? And you got to do it in a star shape. So it goes from here to here to here to here to here. Just snug them down until they can't move, and you should be good to go. Thanks.